Before digging up someone else's ancestral grave, he would always put some soil in his mouth to taste its saltiness. If the taste was normal, he would then signal his helpers to open the coffin. But on this day, Old Jin encountered something he couldn't afford to provoke. After tasting the soil near the grave, his expression immediately turned grave. However, what was even more bizarre was that when he looked up, the bare tombstone didn't even have a name on it. Old Jin hurriedly put on his glasses to take a closer look, but all he saw was a string of numbers starting with 38 in the lower right corner of the tombstone. Then, Old Jin stood on the grave to observe the feng shui, and unexpectedly, after finishing, he turned and left without hesitation. Next day, the employer sought out Lao Jin again, pleading with them to save their child. This time, the employer finally stopped hiding the truth. It turned out that the employer's grandfather was a war hero during World War II. As a reward, a monk named Fox selected this piece of feng shui land for the grandfather. The reason the tombstone did not indicate his identity was because grave robbers were rampant at the time, so the monk arranged for a low-key burial. However, they never expected that after the grandfather was buried with a large fortune, strange incidents began to occur in the family one after another. First, the employer's father inexplicably became paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair. Then his brother mysteriously developed a mental illness, which led to his suicide. The employer had previously consulted several feng shui experts, but none dared to disturb the grandfather's grave. The whole family then moved to the United States, thinking that being farther away from the grandfather would ensure their safety. However, they still couldn't escape the misfortune. His wife first had 2 miscarriages without any warning, and now, after finally giving birth to a son, the child cried incessantly from birth. Even the best doctors in the United States were at a loss and could only calm him down with medication. The employer understood that if things continued like this, he would soon be in danger himself. So, he asked someone to find a shaman named Hua Ling, who could communicate with spirits, to see the baby at first sight. Hua Ling immediately covered her ears and started whistling. The moment he closed his eyes, it was as if he connected with the baby's soul. Instantly, a tall, blurry figure appeared before him, and then a large hand slowly reached out towards him. Realizing something was wrong, Hua Ling quickly told everyone to leave. Immediately, his junior brother Feng Ji opened the treasure chest, placed the exorcism pouch on the baby, and began chanting a spell with his hands clasped together. Amidst the chanting, Hua Ling approached to observe, but when he pried open the baby's eyes to check,